Welcome to the Planet MicroCap Showcase. I'd like to introduce our next presenter for today's event. It is Russell Starr, CEO of Trillium Gold. It's a publicly traded company. Got a few symbols for you: TGM on the TSX Venture and TGLDF on the OTCQX. And with that, Russell, take it away.
Thanks a lot, Robert. Really appreciate the intro. Look, everyone, Trillium Gold is actually a very simple, easy story to pitch. I'm going to keep it short and to the point. I think you'll get it very, very quickly. Basically, if you were to look at the junior market as a whole, one of the major challenges that have occurred over the last decade, 2 decades, is that world-class jurisdictions are being carved up into hundreds of little pieces, which make it very, very difficult for majors to acquire. And really, if you were to try to take yourself out of a junior's mindset and put yourself into a major's mindset, what they're looking for is world-class assets, of course, but also dominant world-class land positions. And so with that in mind, Trillium has gone about taking its flagship asset, which is Newman Todd, but also adding into our portfolio effectively the balance of the world-class Confederation Belt. For a lot of you, the Confederation Belt means nothing, but it's effectively the continuation of the structure that Dixie and Great Bear sat on. And so just to give you sort of apples to apples comparison, Dixie and Great Bear controlled about 7 kilometers of strike. We have about 100 kilometers of strike on the same structure. Before I actually get into our land position, of course, I want to go through the capital markets profile. Trading at around 50 cents Canadian, a bit lower than that. Very, very well cashed up. Management and insiders still control a very, very substantial position of the company. We've recently added in some very important shareholders. One of them, ironically, was the largest shareholder of Great Bear. And I don't want to put myself into their thought process, but my suspicion is that when they saw what we were doing with the Confederation Belt in particular, they saw another opportunity to perhaps extract returns similar to that which they got with Great Bear, which, you know, obviously from pennies to a $2 billion takeout by Kinross is one of probably the more successful transactions that we've seen in decades, particularly in the junior mining space. Retail owns about 35%. We still have a very, very tight share structure, which you can see is fully diluted, 77 million shares outstanding, but basic shares 53. And you can see the details of all the warrants and whatnot that currently exist. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on the team other than to say that Bill Patterson and his technical team are exceptional. They have close to 120 years of experience in Red Lake. Why that's important: Red Lake is very, very structurally controlled. And so having a team basically of ex-Goldcorp geologists working for you gives you a real edge in a jurisdiction that, like I said, is very, very structurally controlled. They often say that a picture paints 1,000 words. And quite honestly, when I said to you, this is a simple pitch and a simple company to walk through, you can see our land position in Red Lake. And for anyone who's maybe not fully aware of Canada or jurisdictions in Canada, this is Northern Ontario. This is the former Red Lake mine. It's now owned by Evolution. It was made famous by Goldcorp. It's probably one of the richest, most prolific gold mines in the world. But with that, there have been multiple other discoveries. And effectively, Red Lake is known for gold. Well, fishing is the one other thing, but gold would be the primary economic factor that people look at Red Lake for. And as you can see, outside of maybe Barrick, which you can see owning this sort of light gray area across here, we have the largest, well, it's close to the largest, if not the second largest after Barrick, land position in the entire jurisdiction. But ironically, we control the structure which is the most sought after in the jurisdiction. And you can see it. Here's where Dixie, the Great Bear discovery was. And you can follow this LP structure all the way through our property package. And what's even more incredible about what we've assembled is that it also sits on to the north side, the trend which basically the Goldcorp Red Lake discovery sat on. So this is world-class land that we're reassembling. You'll continue to see us adding more of it. We believe it's a theme that needs to be pursued in the junior sector. And of course, over here, you can see our flagship Newman Todd project, Willis, which we've recently added to the property package, and then Wolf Bay, which is a 50-50 JV with Evolution. But I guess what I really want to leave people with is there are multiple discoveries over at Newman Todd, and I'm not just talking like average holes, average discoveries. I'm going to get to them in a second. You're looking in at Newman Todd, a non-43-101 compliant area resource of about 2 million ounces of gold. You can see some of these intercepts, 15 of 7. We had 20 of 9. All of this discovery material basically sits from surface down to 400 meters. It's largely open pittable. There was one hole drilled deeper by our predecessor, who ironically was Bob Singh, the driller for Great Bear, that hit the gold center, or sorry, not the gold center, the Newman Todd structure down about 1 kilometer. So we know it continues at depth, but some of these holes are just staggering. 16 of 8, 5 of 18, 47 of 2, 13 of 7, 31 of 12. These are world-class holes by anyone's standards, and they all reside right around the Newman Todd structure. So you're effectively getting this asset, Newman Todd, which we fully believe will be a mine, open pittable to start, and 2 million ounces currently as it sits, non-43-101 compliant. We'll obviously endeavor to turn it into a 43-101 compliant discovery. But the moral of the story is, going back to our property package, sorry as I jump around here a bit, everyone. The moral of the story as I go around to our property package is, that for a $30 million market cap, you're getting a major discovery in Newman Todd. You're getting another property piece that we believe is the continuation of the world famous Red Lake mine. I'll go to that very quickly. And then you're getting this entire majors property package along a structure or 2 structures that make up most of the discoveries in this entire area. And the other incredible part of this property package that we've put together, most people were looking at it for base metals over the last decade or 2, but look at all of the gold showings. And I get it, gold isn't hot right now from a retail perspective, or hot in the market, but at 1950 gold, majors are making a ton of money. And it's only a matter of time, as they try to refill their project cupboards, that companies such as us will end up being taken out, just because of the dominant land position we have, because of the ounces that we're putting together at Newman Todd, and then of course because of just how prolific and the potential upside that would exist at the Confederation Belt. Very quickly before I say goodbye to everyone, by the way, this is VG that we find all over Newman Todd and Rivard. I call it the Newman Todd project, but Rivard is the property we picked up right next to it that's conjoining it. So it's effectively the same or similar structures all in one property package, but VG everywhere, and major intersections, 129 over 1, 561 over 0.3 meters. But very quickly at Gold Center, again, a picture tells 1,000 words. Here's the Red Lake mine, world famous. Evolution is still mining and exploring at it. And I'm just going to leave the presentation with this one particular slide. Our property package, and we're drilling here, is 300 meters away from the world famous Red Lake mine, and where basically Evolution is now exploring and drilling for gold. And so, you can go across this sector. There are companies trading for multiples of what we're trading for without one discovery hole in them. We have numerous at Newman Todd. We have a world-class land package in perhaps one of the best, if not the best jurisdictions in the world, other than maybe Abitibi or some of the Australian jurisdictions. We have a world-class land package, and we have it, what I would call for, at bargain basement prices, 40 cents, 50 cents, and around a $30-35 million market cap. With that, I'm going to say goodbye. I'm always accessible, always reachable. You can reach me through my email or my cell phone. There's an IR link on our website. You can talk to Donna, our head of Corp Dev. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you very much, Robert. And thanks everyone for taking the time to listen to this presentation.